Hello and welcome. My name's Brian, and I'm just doing a quick overview of something that's been popping up in the Facebook forums as well as Reddit that I found, all discussing how many times can Onion Knight attack in a turn. At first thought, you always think, well, at forward can only attack one time, but this card actually's got a little trick to it, and I've been trying to think of how many times you can actually pull it off. So I set up an idealized board of like perfectly how best to my knowledge that you could pull him off. And we're just going to go through it and see how many times we can attack. Now this is set up in an idea that your opponent has no forwards to block, no surprise tricks. So there's your first sign that it might be a little unrealistic, but there is always the chance. So let's get this started. We're going to start our turn, so we're in our first main phase. On the field, we have a Gabranth. For its second ability, if you have received 6 points of damage or more, the earth forwards you control gain Brave. Brave is the key in this trick. And we've conveniently set ourselves at 6 points of damage, just for example. We have 2 evokers on the field for 1 CP drops. We have a Monk, due to its ability to give a forward 3000 power and Brave until the end of the turn, which again is the Brave. As well as Tama. Tama has a unique ability that allows you to pay a cost and put it in the break zone, and you're able to play a character card of cost X or less from your hand onto the field. The beauty of this card is that you can do that in your attack phase, which normally you can't. So you could drop a forward, you could drop a backup onto the field when your opponent least expects it, which is always good. I love this card, and I think it's really underplayed often. In our hand, we have the Light Onion Knight, an evoker for discard, 3 Hashmals, which let us change the element of a card. So, we're just going to begin our turn, see how it goes. I haven't fully practiced this, so I hope it turns out well. We'll draw our 2 cards. How convenient. They are 2 Geomancers, perfectly what we needed for this trick. So we'll begin by playing what we need, discarding 2 CP to play our Onion Knight to the field. Also, another note, I'm using the software Octgn. It's a online free software which allows you to play card games. I think it's great. It lets you practice when you don't have anyone around you in your local area to play this game with. It lets you test out your decks. I'm totally plugging for it. I think it's a great thing to check out. So, back to this. We've just played our Onion Knight, and it has haste, which allows it to attack the turn it's played, which is great. And it has this unique second ability, which is pay 1 cost and dull it, and you can return it to your hand. If you do so, you may play 1 card named Onion Knight, like itself, from your hand onto the field. And you can only use this during your turn, but we're going to stay in our turn, so it's fine. Now, it just entered the field. If you attack with it, the catch is you have to dull it, because if you try to attack and then trigger this ability before the damage resolution is complete, unfortunately it doesn't stay on the field and you would lose the ability to deal damage. So basically a card has to still be on the field at the damage resolution phase so that, well, you can count the damage. So the trick we are going to use is we're still in our first main phase. We've just placed Onion Knight, and the next thing we're going to do is bring out another card. We will discard 2 CP and play a Geomancer to the field. It enters dull. Now the trick is, when Geomancer enters the field, you can choose 1 forward, and it gains Brave until the end of the turn, which we will direct to Onion Knight. So Onion Knight now has Brave, meaning when it attacks, it doesn't dull. So we are going to move to attack now. So we're in the attack phase, and it will attack, dealing 1 point of damage. So now we are at 1 point of damage on our opponent. Now, once the attack has finished and it's resolved, in our next attack preparation, this is where you're able to do abilities and such to prepare, I will now do its ability to pay 1 CP and dull it and return it to my hand, and then I may play one card named Octgn from my hand onto the field, which I will do so by playing the same card right back onto the field. Now when a card re-enters a field, even if it just came from it, like it got blown back by Leviathan, it is a new card. So this new Octgn has not attacked yet. So now, it is now a new card with haste on the field, which is just entered again during the attack phase. So it hasn't missed its chance to do it again. But the catch is, now it doesn't have Brave. We have multiple choices we can do here. Now, if I had kept the other Geomancer, I could have used Tama, in which I would discard 2 CP and dull it, and then put it in the break zone. And then once I've completed that, I may play another card onto the field, still while in the attack phase. I could have placed that second Geomancer onto the field, and then given it, for example, just put this over there, and I could have given it Brave again. But just to give all the examples, I will change it up a bit. This time, we have Monk. It pay 2 CP cost, so we'll dull for Earth, and dull, yep, dull. And its ability says, put Monk in the break zone. Now that I've paid the cost for it, choose 1 forward. It gains plus 3,000 power and Brave, keyword, until the end of the turn. So now it has Brave. We can attack again. And again, once the damage is dealt, if it's at, now it's at 2 damage, we can discard something to pay to return it to our hand again and pull it back onto the field. Now the third example that I have on the field, we'll just return things back to where they were. So we had that open. The third option we have is the reason I have Gabranth here. Now Gabranth, if you've received 6 points of damage or more, the Earth forwards you control gain Brave. But the catch is, Octgn is not an Earth forward. So that's where Hashmal comes in. I will dull 1 CP for Earth and play this card, Hashmal. Name 1 job or element. Until the end of the turn, all the forwards you control gain plus 1,000 power and the named job or element, which I will choose as Earth. So now Octgn is an Earth forward until the end of this turn. That means it has Brave. It can attack, and then once the attack is complete, I will tap another CP to dull him, return him to hand, and then I can play him back onto the field another time. So those are all the different options in order to play Octgn that I have found. I'm sure there are other options. I haven't looked into all of them, but it's fun to see how different people come up with different things, and I'm always excited to find something new to do. Even with old cards, you can always find new abilities that you never thought of with a new card that just came out, which is always fun to discover. So I'm just resetting the board, and I'm going to see if I can go for 4 points. I can't guarantee this, but it looks like it could work. So we'll see if we can pull this off. Okay, our opponent is at 3. We're going to say our opponent's at 3 damage. We need 4 damage to win the game. Now, first thing we will do, discard for CP and play our Octgn to the field. Okay, he entered, he has haste. We will discard and play Geomancer to the center, giving him Brave. So he moves to attack phase, and we attack for our first point of damage. We are at 1 point of damage. At the end of that, I will dull 1 CP, tap him, and bring him back to hand. Now that we have done that, we finish the ability by playing 1 Onion Knight from my hand onto the field. So I place it back on the field. He's now just a forward with haste. So now we will move to the second attempt. We will dull Earth, 1 CP, play this card. It gives him the element of Earth. So now I move to attack with a Braved card because of Gabranth and get my second point of damage. So we need 2 more points of damage. I tap 1. Oh, it's getting close. I don't know if I can pull it off. We tap 1, tap him, pull him back, and now he's back in the hand. And then we play him onto the field to finish his ability. So now we are at 2 points of damage. I tap 1, dull, gain CP, Earth, play another Hashmal, play this card, choose the element, Earth. So now he is a Brave card again. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Move to attack. And now we have gotten our 3rd point of damage with Brave. We will use this to discard and gain CP to overpay for the 1 cost and dull him and return him to hand. And then to finish the ability, we move him back onto the field. And now he was just a regular card with haste. And we dull him to attack, and we got our 4th point of damage. So that feels good. I was able to get 4 points of damage out of Onion Knight with, to be honest, a pre-set up board, but a possible board. Because in a mono earth deck, I'm sure you will have all kinds of cards out. In this one, realistically, if you had Gambranth out on the field, you could have anything for these 4 cards. Tama and Monk are options in case you get stuck in other ways, because every card game's different. But if you have 1 empty slot and have a Geomancer in hand and you pooled your 3 Hashmals, you can do 4 points of damage with Onion Knight. I have not given this card as much respect as it should have. So that's my cool trick. I hope you enjoyed the video. I don't do many of these on the spot little stream videos, but I've just thought it'd be a fun one to try out. Thanks a lot for watching, and hope to see you soon.